So how do you adjust white balance and ISO in the Camera+2 app? So to do that, we're going to need to change modes. We're going to need to change out of auto, and we're going to need to go into manual mode. And in manual mode, you'll notice I get some new options on the right side. If I want my exposure compensation slider, I can still get it by clicking that little sun, and it pops right back out. So I'm going to set my focus and exposure right there, so I can still adjust that. But over to the right, I can see where it says WB, that stands for white balance. So that is where I adjust white balance. So what Camera+2 does is it gives you some different options. So like shade, so shade adds some yellow, you can tell. Cloudy adds a little bit of yellow. Daylight looks pretty good because I'm mostly shooting with daylight right now. I'm right next to a window. Incandescent adds some blue because it's assuming it's yellow light. Sunset adds a lot of blue because it's assuming it's very yellow light. And candlelight adds some green, so that's a little bit crazy. But then if I click this plus button, this is actually really fun because I can slide it. So this is manual white balance. So you can really adjust it and kind of make it exactly what you want with that. And if you feel like I've gone off the deep end and I don't know what to do, just hit auto and it'll reset it for you. So you can see it's sort of thinking through, and it landed on 5,000 Kelvin. So light is a temperature. So that's white balance. So then again, if I click that negative, then I get back into these preset options, which can be really nice too. So just play around with those, see what they do. If I click out of white balance, to find ISO in Camera+2, it's hidden a little bit. So I actually need to go into the shutter speed, which is this icon that's right next to exposure compensation. It looks a little bit like the kind of aperture opening, even though it's not aperture. So this is shutter speed. We're going to dive into shutter speed next week. But to find ISO, I hit that plus button, and it separates out shutter speed and ISO. So initially it has those two things combined because they both have to do with speed, but they are different. So up here now on the top or on the right, depending on what you're looking at, is where I can adjust the ISO. I can make it low, or I can make it, if I make it really high, it just gets like crazy bright. So it's adjusting when I adjust the ISO, I'm also not adjusting shutter speed, so you might have to balance out with shutter speed a little bit. But that's where the ISO is hidden in the Camera+2 app. So have fun playing around with it.